And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Tony and Barnes show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Brian.
I'm supposed to sound like that, not you. I mean, I know last night wasn't great, but overall, you should be feeling a little bit better, Tony.
No, I definitely am, dude.
So, there's a lot to address. And before, we get into that, I just want to say, do my best to keep it in check. And at the end of the day, my shirt says it all. You know where I stand. You know who I support. But we got to wait a second to get to that. Just one thing I just wanted to acknowledge, because we were off yesterday. FedEx St. Jude Championship, a thriller, and Tony's pick. And I believe, tell me I'm wrong, Tony, since we started picking golf tournaments, you, my friend, first one to pick a winner right.
I think so, right, Brian?
Will Zalatoris,
baby.
In a playoff, 3-hole playoff over at Sepp Straka. Had to take a drop because his ball was in a rock. Somehow wins the tournament. What a job by Tony and Will Zalatoris.
I know.
Both equally as impressive.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, dude, he was actually phenomenal. It was probably like one of the best golf tournaments I've ever watched, honestly. Obviously, probably because of the combination of my pick and the playoff. I mean, crazy. They went 3 holes and like they were both kind of just like botching shots at the same time. And I forget the name. The dude. Who's the dude he was up against?
Sepp Straka.
I think he botched like a putt on the first playoff hole. It would have been, I think, for birdie in the win, and he just kind of botched it a little bit. And then, I guess Zalatoris took advantage of it by the 3rd hole, and bang, dude.
Golf
Crazy.
is a tough sport. Will Zalatoris, we've been talking about him for a little bit.
Right.
We knew it was a matter of time, and I think he's going to be at the top of leaderboards for years and years to come. Mm-hmm. What else I thought was interesting, and I wonder if this is related or not, Cameron Smith, he was in the mix most of this tournament, but they gave him a 2-shot penalty for not dropping in the right spot after his 3rd round, which kind of seemed like, they waited way after the round was over. So it kind of seemed like the commissioner, knowing that he's going to live, kind of almost sticking it to him. And he ends up finishing tied for 13th, shoots a 70 in this final round, and then announces this week, due to a hip issue, out of this week's BMW championship. Wow. So I wonder if it's almost like he's like, I don't even care. I just want to get out of here. Mm-hmm. I'm questioning if that's the case. But I would imagine, I know he's pretty high up there in terms of the the FedEx Cup leaderboard. I'm actually kind of want to just take a look at that now, but top 30, get into next week's championship at East Lake in Atlanta. I just want to update its standings. Okay.
Got a couple comments here, Brian.
Oh, we have a couple comments. Who do we
Donna
got?
Barnaby.
Oh,
says,
wow.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Mrs. Barnaby. And then she says, what has happened to the Yankees, Brian?
We will get to that in a second, Mom. And now that I know that you're watching live, I'll try to just keep it together best I can. But that is going to be tough. But just hang in there with us for 1 second. And right now, Cam Smith is 3rd. So I would imagine, Tony, that, despite not playing this week, he will be a lock to be in next week's championship at East Lake. Are you buying this hip injury, or do you think it's a little sour grapes here?
Oh, sour grapes, Brian, for sure.
Do you think he plays next week?
No.
I'm kind of torn, because that could be like, he doesn't want to play because he doesn't like what they did with the ruling and the tough time he's getting. But at the same time, is it, I'll be there next week anyway. I automatically qualify, so I'll just take my chance then to win $15 million.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So,
yeah. How sour do you think he is?
Oh, I mean, he's, especially after Scheffler walking in the line on Thursday. I mean, he is tight. Maybe not as tight as me right now, but he's tight.
Was that drop rule bogus or?
I didn't see the specifics on it, but I would imagine, I mean, honestly, they're pretty to the book. So maybe, if it's someone like me and you, we would say, oh, that's not that big of a deal, but they have a defined area where the ball needs to be dropped. And if you're not in that area, you're going to get penalized.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens, and we'll do a full preview about this week's tournament tomorrow. But for now, Tony, the time we've all been waiting for, the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
The sky is falling, Tony.
Wow.
I don't know how else to say it, and I don't know the specifics, but if I had to say, I mean, it's got to be, I think, 8 out of 10 in a stretch, that goes back pretty far. I think over their last 60 games, roughly 500. However, the Blue Jays haven't been playing their best baseball either. So here we are, still a 10-game lead. But really, I mean, and you think specifically back to these last two series, losing 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox, who are in last place, getting shut out on Sunday Night Baseball. And the Red Sox series was especially tough because, you pitched well enough to win that third game. The first game, you were all set, and then you throw Clay Holmes back in the fire. And it's like, I've been a supporter of Clay Holmes, but it's just like, once we see a guy, a closer specifically, because that's it. That's your line of life to winning a game. And once you see him blow it a couple of times and just that he's not himself, you can't continue to put him in that role. So that really disappointed me. I think that's a terrible decision. And whether that's Boone or the front office, we could tell by this stretch, Tony, they need to do better and they need to stop sitting on their hands. And I hate to keep going back to this, but I think the same exact thing applies to what I said in that video a little over a year ago, to Gino, when I was getting a little hot about the bad stretch they were going through last year. And it's just like, they're doing nothing. There's no reaction to this terrible play. And that's the most disheartening thing. And I really think, and like I said a year ago, it starts at the top with how he is a complete joke. Really a disgrace to Yankees all over the world here, Yankee fans. You can't just do nothing. And that's what Hal does on a day-to-day basis. And the reason why that I struggle to, agree with his logic is he's so set on not releasing guys before the end of their contracts. But it's like, Hal, you have to pay him anyway. The money's not going away. And do we think all of a sudden, Josh Donaldson is going to be tradable this offseason? Are you kidding me? And then on top of it, you're going to bat him fourth. Every time he comes up, he strikes out. He's completely overmatched. And, and I just feel like for the front office and ownership, there's no accountability. That was a horrible trade. And I said it when the trade happened. All you had to do was release Gary Sanchez. You didn't need to move Gio Urshela. And I know Gio Urshela isn't a all-star third baseman, but at the same time, you're telling me he's not 100 times better than Josh Donaldson? I mean, he looks lost every single plate appearance. And it's just like, we need some sign of life. And what would be a bigger sign of life than designating Josh Donaldson for assignment, bringing up Oswaldo Peraza, and then having DJ play third? And I know DJ is going through some stuff with the toe. I know it'll be okay, but it's like that would just send shockwaves through the team. Right now, there's no accountability. You can go 0 for 30, and we're going to trot you out there to start. I mean, that's crazy. And then Aaron Hicks. I mean, Aaron Hicks might even be worse than Josh Donaldson, honestly. And it's just a complete embarrassment, and we just do not deserve this as Yankee fans. And it's just like, you have to be reactive. You can't just keep saying, oh, we have a 10-game lead. We have a 10-game lead. And it's just like, the thing that's just so infuriating for me with Hal is just the fact that, like I said, he doesn't want to waste money, so he keeps these guys on the roster. But it's like, you're telling me you're not better off cutting bait with both of them, bringing in guys that actually produce for you, and then you think you might make a little more money winning the World Series instead of getting out in the first round of the playoffs, which it looks like you're going to do right now the way you're playing. I mean, you can't even chalk a run across, and we're going to just keep running through the motions. I mean, it's absolutely a disgrace, and just the inability to just make changes is just unacceptable. And I know, Stanton's going to come back. We have Harrison Bader to look forward to next month at some point, but we need help now. I mean, now is the time before this really gets out of hand. And like, you look at their last 10 games, the pitchers are doing their jobs, but it's like, you can't expect them to win games 1-0 every night. I mean, it's really, really embarrassing. And last night is a perfect example. And it's not even, listen, at the end of the day, like I've said many times on this show, it comes down to what the players are doing. But last night, I think the game was very poorly mismanaged. And the thing that really stood out to me, and I just absolutely couldn't take it, I believe it was, the 4th inning. Okay, so Miguel Andujar, leads off with a single. And keep in mind, they're down 1-0, have struggled to score. I think Andujar, that was only the second hit of the game. Whatever the case may be, Andrew Benintendi lays down a bunt, but there was a fielding error by the pitcher. So first and second, nobody out. Jose Trevino up. Who's been better with runners in scoring position on the Yankees than Jose Trevino this year? Every time he comes up in a big spot, he gets a hit. And you decide to bunt with no outs, first and second, you're bunting. I mean, listen, if it was Aaron Hicks who was coming up, who happened to be up next, I would understand it, but not Trevino. I mean, let's just take a pause there for a second, Tony. Am I crazy to say that? Why would you bunt with Jose Trevino?
No reason to bunt there. Stupid call.
And they get the lead runner out. So then it's like, okay, so we're taking a chance with bunting, and we're possibly going to get thrown out. We get the lead runner out. So now we want Aaron Hicks with 2 guys on with a double play in order. And what does he do? He taps it right back to the pitcher. I mean, that's a complete disgrace. At this point, if Aaron Hicks is going to go out there, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Tony, he should try to bunt for a hit every single time because he cannot swing the bat.
Oh, yeah, let's see it. Bunt for the hit every time.
I mean, and this is a guy, I mean, he really deserves to be laughed at. Before this season, he said, I'm going for 30-30. I mean, what does he have, 6-10? I mean, that's a complete disgrace. And just the fact that they just keep running him out there, hitting him in the lineup. I don't know what's worse, him or Donaldson. I really don't. I mean, Hicks, let up that triple on a ball that he could have caught because he misread it off the bat. The head's not in the game. Get him out of the game. I mean, put him on the IL. Like, there's no creativity, and we're just going chalk. And I just don't understand it. And like I said, it doesn't just come down to Donaldson and Hicks, but at the same time, what message is that sending to the players? What message is it sending to Gleyber Torres? I mean, you're batting him leadoff. I mean, what is he, 3 for his last 35? What are we doing? I mean, I just feel like it's just complete inconfidence at the top. I mean, and it's just like, I don't know if Cashman's, ruling Boone, whatever, but it's like, Hal's got to just step up here. And I hate the fact that he just hides. He will not talk to the media. He will not talk about what's going on. And right now, I mean, tell me I'm wrong, Tony, but the whole Yankee organization deserves to apologize to the fan base right now because this is unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, you really couldn't have said it better yourself. I mean, we talked about how important these, next few series are, and they're absolutely blowing it. Not even because necessarily the players' fault, but I mean, it's just like mismanagement.
I mean, you get shut out, and then you bat Josh Donaldson 4th.
Why?
I mean, that might be. I think that's a worse move than trading for Robinson Cano.
Do you think that they're just like, what's going on and just trying to throw anything at the wall?
No, I swear to God, the problem is, and it's a combination of both. And obviously, I know Cashman goes back with the Steinbrenner family. They are the most stubborn people I've ever met my whole entire life. Anytime anything goes wrong, those two guys never take any accountability. And it's just absolutely atrocious. And they can blame the players all they want because that's what they did last year. Oh, the guys aren't playing up to their expectations. But what are you doing? You have to put your foot down. And I just feel like it's a complete embarrassment to bat Josh Donaldson fourth. I mean, literally, I think other than Aaron Hicks, even Kiner Falefa batting fourth would be a better idea than Josh Donaldson batting fourth. I mean, it's literally, I would say, the most embarrassed, the worst that I felt. I feel worse than the years that they didn't make the playoffs in 2008, in 2014, in 2016. It literally feels the same. 2013. This literally feels the same. And to think about, a couple months ago, we were talking about matching the 1998 Yankees. I mean, this is right now they're playing like a team that would lose 100 games if the season just started. They really would, because how do you get shut out back-to-back games? I mean, something has to be shaken up. And am I wrong to say that tonight we're going to look at the lineup and Josh Donaldson is probably still going to be batting fourth?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, Tony, I mean, it's like for the Yankees we're talking about. We're not talking about the Marlins. We're not talking about the Rays. We're not talking about the Orioles. We're talking about the Yankees, and they're comfortable with trotting out a lineup like this. No one's fired up. I mean, and it's like, you think maybe, the manager could possibly have something to do with this. What does he do? He let this happen last year when they weren't scoring. And here he is again. What value is he bringing? I mean, it's just like, I don't understand the thought process here. And I mean, do you chalk it up with anything other than they're being stubborn / Hal doesn't care? He does not care. He cares about his bottom line. Am I wrong to say that?
No, you're not. I mean, I think it is more that he doesn't care than anything. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, how much blame would you be putting on Boone right now?
I think a lot of blame.
Because
think about since he's taken over, what has he done besides backpedal? How have we ascended since we lost Game 7 of the 2000 ALCS? We haven't. There's been no success in the postseason. Anytime we get a tough matchup with a tough team, with tough pitching, nothing happens. And Boone thinks, I can get thrown out of every 20th game and that'll change everything. That does nothing. You look like an idiot. I mean, really, though. Really. It's just like, this is not what the Yankees do. And I just don't understand how Hal looks at himself in the mirror, because at the end of the day, it comes down to him because he's the one making decisions. And obviously, Cashman needs to take accountability here. I mean, that trade for Donaldson, how do you spend $25 million on Josh Donaldson when he's 37? Why do we keep bringing in older players and expecting better results? How do you give Aaron Hicks $70 million? And then say nothing, like it didn't happen. Like, he's not doing his job. You're not doing your job. I mean, ridiculous. It's awful and it's embarrassing. And I know it could all still turn around, but bring up guys from the minors. And that's the other thing. They don't want to bring up anyone from the minors because they're not comfortable with it. Then why'd you pick them in the first place? You're the one selecting these guys. I mean, this is completely ridiculous. It makes no sense at the end of the day. And I hope it starts to make sense, because this is just going to be another season washed away if major changes aren't made, and it really starts at the top. And I don't know if those changes are going to be made. I really don't. I really, really don't. Are they, Tony?
Probably not.
So Donaldson fourth tonight.
Yeah.
Shutout again? Third game in a row?
Maybe they score one. Judge Dinger.
Would be nice.
Was it like 47 now?
46 and 100. Obviously, I mean, I guess the one thing that's different is, of course, Andujar's playing, and I think, Carpenter, not being on the team, I mean, I think really hurts them, but it's like, man, you got to do something different. And I just feel like I said, I mean, am I crazy to say that it's like the hesitancy of not bringing up anybody from the minors makes no sense? Why did you select them then?
Yeah, it's stupid. What are you waiting for?
Is it just because they just constantly look at them as a stock, as a bargaining chip, with no intention to bring them up?
I mean, I guess that's a waste. That's a misuse.
But think about this, Tony. Look at this. I'm looking at the lineup from last night. Guess how many guys, were brought through the system that were starting in the field.
How many?
2. And Andujar, I mean, he's barely been on the team all year, so technically that'd be 1.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, it's just like it shouldn't be that hard, and I just that's what I think it comes down to. Hal and Cashman do not want to take responsibility, and neither does Aaron Boone. And maybe Boone has no say here, but it's still like I don't know. It's just not the right look, and we need to see something different here because I can't believe that this has happened. I mean, I knew that there would be a cold streak, but I mean, shutout back-to-back games, and I'm pretty sure they've scored 8 runs in their last 6 games.
Mm-hmm. That's not good. That's too low.
I wish I could say it's too high.
I know,
but any hope you could offer me here?
Well, you mentioned pitching.
Cole looked good.
They look pretty good.
6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
By the way, your mother thinks you should manage. You should be the manager.
Would it be a terrible idea, Tony?
That wouldn't be terrible. Although, I mean, I think you'd be getting thrown out more than every 20 games.
No, I wouldn't, because you know what I mean? Like if this stuff happened and Peraza was starting and Florial was on the team and maybe, I don't know, Jason Dominguez got a shot and Austin Wells, I would be like, all right, you know what? This group just isn't working. Like we just need to get new guys in the offseason and complete retool, but they're just not even trying that. And it's just like, you know, I really do feel like they're slapping the fan base in the face. That they're just showing that they don't care. They want us to shell out, you know, hundreds of dollars to go to a game with a group of people, but they don't want to spend an extra dollar or cut a sinking product because, oh, we need to get maximum value out of it, or, oh, we need to have maximum service time with our prospects or be able to trade them, or, oh, if they come up, their stock will be lower. I mean, it's just like, am I wrong to say that, Tony? Are they slapping us fans in the face?
I mean, do you think that's really their intention?
I mean, what do they do that, in all seriousness, what do they do that shows that they care about winning a championship?
I would say to date, basically nothing.
I mean, because think about we added some guys at the deadline.
Yeah, but I mean, like when you think about it, like probably the biggest thing they could do to, you know, retain any type of championship, I guess odds would be to have Judge, you know, and they don't even really have him in the bag yet.
They don't have him in the bag. Like the one move that I'll like somewhat allow is 2 of them actually. I mean, I guess Benintendi and Efros. I mean, you know, they were some of the better guys, you know, available. I mean, obviously Soto, but you know, maybe reports are wrong, but they're saying that the Nationals didn't like the packet. Our guys, they liked the guys who were getting from the Padres better. So I can live with that. But Frankie Montas, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was fine in his last start, but I'm just saying the fact that you didn't get Luis Castillo, and then he embarrassed you the 2 times that you faced him and beat you. So
should have been on your team. Should have been on your team.
But reports are saying that they needed to give up Jason Dominguez. In your eyes, would it have been worth it?
Yeah. Look at Castillo right now. Dealing.
By
the way, I saw some stat that right now I think Monty has a lower ERA than Garrett Cole. I think Monty's like a 3.2.
Yeah, because those couple starts against the Royals and the Mariners just killed his ERA.
I don't know, dude.
So I mean, you know, it's really it's tough to put a positive spin. And you know me, I'm always right behind him, and I do believe that they'll turn this around, but I just think that the whole process at the end of the day could be accelerated. And it's just like not holding guys accountable. I mean, am I wrong to say that makes the team perform worse because there's no pressure on them? It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, I could go 0 for 5, but I'll be in the lineup.
But who
tomorrow.
cares? Yeah, exactly, dude. Not good.
So, morale. You know, the only, you know, and no pun intended here, obviously playing the Rays, but the only ray of hope is that Nestor Cortez on the hill tonight. A guy I believe in. Obviously, he doesn't hit.
Still a pretty bright ray.
You know, and I'm hoping LeMahieu be back in the lineup. I mean, that's a big cog in this lineup. So that's something that you feel will make a big difference. And then Jeffrey Springs, though, has pitched pretty well this year for the Rays, 4-3, 2.56. Doesn't give him the length. But I don't know, quality pitching, we've seen what these bats do. And it's just like, I guess the last thing I'm going to say here, Tony, is that I understand, no Stanton, no LeMahieu. That makes a huge difference not having those guys. But there's still enough guys in the lineup where you can't get shut out back-to-back games. I mean, that's so embarrassing. And just the fact that every single time there's runners on, it just seems like I see the same thing. And like I was watching the game on Friday, with my roommates, when Clay Holmes blew it. And it's just like I was predicting exactly what would happen. Glaber in a big spot, strikeout. Aaron Hicks in a big spot, strikeout. Josh Donaldson in a big spot, strikeout. And it's just like these guys need to know that it's like you're not going to be here. And I don't know. And one last thing to kind of wrap up this conversation, and I've kind of mentioned it before. Do you think that it's that big of a deal to why they're playing like this? The fact that out of nowhere, or at least to the players' knowledge, that Monty was traded, and then to couple that Gleyber Torres was heavily involved in the package for Juan Soto, and that kind of really affected him as well as the team to say, wow, like they just traded Monty like nothing. They don't even care. And then the fact that Glaber was basically out the door if the Nationals said yes. Do you think that plays any role in this?
No, I don't know. I mean, do you really think the players feel bad because of that? Or,
Well, I think Monty was, from what I could tell, I think Monty was liked.
Right. Yeah, but when you think about it, I mean, in terms of holding players, even holding them accountable for making mistakes, stuff like that, to think oh, wow, I could be traded if Monty gets traded. Torres was on the block. I mean,
and then they're thinking, oh, and then they're lowballing Judge.
It doesn't look good.
Like they're tied at the organization.
I would say so. I would imagine for a lowballing Judge. I mean, everyone must be really tight. What? Why? What are you doing? And imagine that. They're obviously talking about it.
Is he going to turn around tonight?
Who's pitching for Tampa?
Jeffrey Springs.
I think he had a good shot.
Did they score 5 tonight?
No, I think they went 4-3.
Who comes in for the save? Chappie? Or Scott Efros?
I guess Efros. There's no way going to bring Chapman in against Tampa Bay, too.
They're very reluctant.
Yeah.
Reluctant. Because I think they just like the results. They're getting him as a setup guy. And
they ease him into it.
If you were them, where would you pitch Holmes for the next week or two? What spot?
Oh, gosh, dude. I guess I would have him as a setup guy.
Yeah.
7th inning.
My vote is blowout 5th inning.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know what I mean? You gotta. How can we take that chance, especially the way that they're playing now?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't believe that we sit here, mid-August after the start that they had, and that we're having this conversation. It's shocking. It's defeating. The only thing that also, makes you feel a little better is there is time, but it's got to start right now. You can't keep embarrassing yourself, and you can't keep slapping your fans in the face, because not everybody is as loyal as me, as Matt, and some people might just never come back if you're going to keep doing this and acting like you don't care, because then they're going to ask the question, why do we care? And I think that's the biggest problem. But I'm just going to take it game by game, and I just hope the start of a new stretch starts tonight. That's all I got, Tony.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Brian.
I believe you wanted to talk about the Mets.
Oh yeah, sure, dude. Okay, so the Mets, I guess didn't quite have as disappointing weekend.
Oh, and sorry,
They went.
I know me cutting you off, but we did have a comment, and it just relates.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, before popped in here, and I will address this.
Yeah.
Mets were collapsing like last year. Braves red hot. Pump the brakes here, before.
Okay. My God, I missed you, man.
Pump the brakes here. No one's collapsing. Okay. Yeah, the Braves are hot. Whatever. I mean, in the past, 5 days or whatever, the Mets have gone 2-2. They lost one to the Phillies, excuse me. And then they lost their first game to the Braves last night. And I'll talk about the weekend just briefly. But weekend, basically, a couple tight games. Phillies, I think, won the first one, 2-1 in 10 innings. Max Scherzer pitched a gem. I think we were 0 for 7 runners scoring position. Just didn't have enough offense. Obviously, only scored 1 run. Second game, I believe was the DeGrom game, I think. DeGrom threw 6 innings, 10 Ks. Absolute gem from him as well. We ended up winning 1-0. Absolute nail biter. I think Alonso had a RBI single or something. Totally like classic Mets. I was thinking, oh my God, DeGrom's going to be like throwing a great game, and the Mets are going to lose like, 2-1, 1-0 because they don't have much offense. Sunday, they open up offense heavy. I think the 4th inning was where they really broke out. They scored 4 runs, ended up winning, I think 6-0. Bassett, I think, through 7 innings, shut the door on the Phillies. But first, it's deja vu all over again. But I'm telling you, like, relax, dude. It's not over yet. Okay, no.
Your concerns are validated.
No, they're not.
They're very validated.
Semi-validated, but will be squashed tonight, dude. And last night, we lost like 13-2 or whatever it was.
I didn't even know it was that high.
Oh,
that's too high.
Oh my God, dude. Get out of town. You knew. Where is there it is.
That's too high.
Oh, there's unweight.
13 runs allowed, Tony.
13 runs allowed. But you know what? Spencer Strider pitched for the Braves here. I'm going to take, a page out of his book where the Braves are kind of lucky. There was a incredible rain delay. Seemingly incredible. It was incredible. Seemingly out of nowhere in the second inning.
Would you say it was ferocious rain?
Ferocious. Because of that, Carrasco never came back after 2 innings. They didn't pitch him after.
Isn't he one of your worst starters?
And he is one of our worst starters. So the Braves got very lucky. Adonis Medina got absolutely shellacked in like the 4th inning. I think he ended up giving up
5 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Inning in the third.
Michael
Givens pitched well too.
Michael Givens, he's been pitching well.
No, you know who was the best pitcher of the night, Tony?
Go ahead.
No, you say it. No.
It was rough. It was Darren Ruff. Okay, he had a 1-2-3 inning.
Then he pitched another inning.
He pitched another inning, and they brought him back out because he had a 1-2-3 inning.
I'm just saying. Should we think about possibly
making
him a 2-way player?
Maybe, dude. Honestly, I mean, think about it. Out of the fucking pen, him pitching 2 good innings against the Braves. It was just one of those tough games. It happens. The rain delay. It was an anomaly. It was an anomaly, dude. We never started. We basically had no starter.
Okay? Are you done with Givens?
No, done with Givens.
You didn't see his line last night,
dude.
Hey, 1 inning, 4 hits, 3 runs.
Pump the brakes a little bit, dude. No, I'm not done yet. I mean, I feel like he had like before that, he's had a couple good innings. I think it was just one of those nights where the Braves, like before said, they were hot. They were on everyone, Carrasco, those 2 innings, he didn't pitch very well. I think he gave up a run.
3 runs.
3 runs?
Yeah.
I mean, so it seemed, the pitchers obviously weren't doing well all around. I mean, the Braves had momentum. It took a position player to come in to kind of get them, off their timing, I suppose. But for Braves pitcher throws shade at Mets, Braves pitcher claims the Mets getting lucky. Is Las Vegas fixing games? Prefer. Do you have how many cups of coffee did you have this morning, Prefer?
No, because the thing is, honestly, my man Prefer was making sense, and then he said something like that, and it's like, listen, Prefer. I know the Mets have had a nice season, but
credibility.
They didn't fix it to give up 13 runs. Let's just get that straight. All right.
That would have been pretty crazy, dude. But anyway, Spencer Strider is the lucky one last night. Okay. Because the rain obviously threw everyone off, and that's totally fine, dude. I'm not really worried about it at all. We know the Braves are a really good team. They just versed our worst pitcher, which says a lot, by the way, because obviously our pitchers are really good. Of course, you are a little worried about Taijuan Walker tonight on the mound, just because the last start he had against the Braves, he lasted an inning, gave up 8 runs. So, yes, Brian. Brian in the corner. Yes, you had your hand raised.
so just so I'm getting this straight, because we've had the Walker debate, a lot in this show. This is strictly a matchup thing, not about Taijuan overall.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But let's say it's 2 innings, 8 earned. Then is there concern?
Oh yeah, obviously 2 innings.
But general concern, not just about because you're saying rest of the season you feel confident. You've said you want him in the postseason rotation.
Yeah, I do. I mean, think about it. I mean, his next outing, he threw 6 innings, 2 earned runs. I think he had like 6 Ks or something like that. I mean, it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was against the Reds, but regardless, I mean, it was a bounce back outing from him. It wasn't anything crazy.
Couple walks, I think.
Couple walks, yeah. And we know he had that weird hippie thing going on in the first inning against the Braves, where he kind of like double clutched his foot, his spike got caught, and yeah. So,
do we know that his hip's okay?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he pitched his next spot up in the rotation. So, I think we should be fine. We should expect the best out of him, and I think the Braves are going to overlook and be like, "Hey, we just played this guy, and he lasted an inning with us. This is going to be a fucking breeze." And in the meantime, he's going to be throwing gas past them, and they're not going to get shit done.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Not concerned about this Braves lineup at all.
I mean, of course, there's some concern, but I'm just telling you, how I think it's gonna go down tonight.
Who is a guy to watch out for?
Is it Austin Riley? Travis d'Arnaud? Who? There's a lot of people in the lineup.
I don't think you know who he is. I think I mentioned him.
Is it someone who isn't Ozzy Albies?
No.
Is it someone who's obviously not like that?
Top prospects just called up Vaughn Grissom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Tonight, I'm just forecasting it. I don't know what the score is going to be. Leave that up to you. Vaughn Grissom tonight.
How did he do last night?
3 for 5, home run, 4 RBIs.
Wow.
That's what I'm forecasting. So limited action this year, 429 average, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 1310 OPS. Last night he was 2 for 3. He's had 6 hits his last 3 games. So, and the Braves have won all 3 of those and the previous 2 before that. So I think he's had a positive effect.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Only 21 years old. No, because I know you know him now. Because remember, I was talking about Volpe, how he's had way less experience, and here we are, and he's making an impact. So it's just amazing, Tony. It is amazing that the Braves just keep churning out these guys.
Yeah.
How do they get so many prospects?
I don't know, dude. Did they trade for these guys, or are they just like in?
I think they're international signings are strong as well.
But first says Braves center fielder is amazing.
Acuna, or does he not play center?
No, he was playing right, I think. I think their center fielder is another young dude that they just brought up. I remember them talking about it. Harris.
Michael Harris.
Michael Harris.
Yeah. No, I mentioned him earlier in the year. Yeah. Legend, Tony. He's going to be great. There's just a lot of talent up and down, this roster. I mean, obviously, you hope Kyle Wright and Max Fried will be okay down the stretch. But I think they got a strong bullpen, and it's crazy that the lineup is this good. And, there was a lot of concern with Albies, being out for the year that they would struggle, but they just have guys to just step up.
Yeah. Not that worried, honestly. I guess I'm maybe a little worried.
And I mean, how do you feel the Mets match up against Charlie Morton tonight? I know the results haven't been great this year, but obviously a veteran, been there, done that type of thing.
I think we can do pretty well. I mean, I know there's been a lot of lack of offense the past few days, but there's definitely been some kind of tough, grinded out at bats. But I think Charlie Morton, I mean, I feel like he struggled here and there this year. We mentioned obviously he's a veteran. He knows how to pitch well, how to pitch to certain batters and stuff like that. But I feel like, if the Mets can kind of, hop on him quick and alleviate some pressure from Walker, I think that's, even better at that point. And I think it's possible. I mean, when you think about it, Charlie Morton, I don't know, dude. I mean, what is he like? Almost a 4 ERA, right?
I think he's 4.26 if I'm not mistaken.
Really? I kind of like that number. I feel like the Mets can hit on him. I feel like they're due for it. I mean, think about it. Like, Sunday they had that 6-0 win, and they had like a big fourth inning. But other than that,
light over the weekend.
Very light over the weekend. And I think at this point, law of averages, dude. Charlie Morton, geez, he's 38 years old.
From Connecticut.
Oh, that's right. He's from Trumbull.
No, I think it's New Britain.
Look at his outing against the Mets this year: 5 innings, 5 earned runs. Let's go, dude.
I think this is a good way to segment right into our pick segment. And just updating the standings from Friday. I went 2-2. You went 3-1. So you take a 1-game lead, 8-7 versus 9-6. We're already talking about it. So let's have a full synopsis, Tony, of tonight's pitching matchup. Taijuan Walker, Charlie Morton, game 2 of this series.
Okay, so and in a very unconventional fashion for Taijuan Walker, he goes 7 innings. I would say he 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk. So giving you that length that you need, obviously, from using the bullpen so much yesterday. And at that point, you can have like Lugo in the 8th, Diaz in the 9th, not worry about it. Also, did you see that yesterday? I forget who homered, but they played the fucking trumpets.
No.
Yeah, dude. It's fucked up. Can't do that.
I
Anyway, no, I'm moving on. And
okay.
Taijuan,
I
know how you feel about the trumpets anyway. Charlie Morton goes 4 innings, 6 earned runs. I would say dingers left and right. Base hits by McNeil, base hits by Nimmo. Alonso comes in, cleans it up, 3-run homer. Lindor, maybe an RBI double. Vogelbach also solo shot early, 3rd inning. Morton out. Braves dive into their bullpen early. No scoring, maybe until later in the game, 6th, 7th inning. Vogelbach hits his 2nd home run.
Wow.
And then Naquin, RBI single, 8th inning.
There you go.
Game's over.
Tyler Naquin, Tony.
He's a good batter.
Kind of has regressed a little bit since that hot start, though.
Mets win 7-2. Well, obviously.
And I might have missed it because I'm still just, hot about the Yankees. Walker's line. Where did you have it?
Okay. I had 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks.
Wow. All right. I mean, that would be making a statement.
Yeah.
That would be saying, I want to be in the postseason rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of postseason rotations, we know that nasty Nestor Cortez is going to be in the Yankees postseason rotation. And this game, 7:05, I guess it's a national game on TBS. I don't know if it's one of those things where, you get locally, it's the Yes Network, but then around the country, it's TBS. Whatever the case may be, Tony, I think Nestor is taking this Yankee terrible run personally. And he says, I want everyone to sit down. Nasty Nestor is here. I'm taking control. I'm showing everybody that we are still the best team in baseball. And I don't care. I know our offense is struggling. We might only score 1 run tonight, but I'm giving up nada. So Nestor Cortez tonight, Tony, complete game shutout, 13 strikeouts, 4 hits, no walks. And I'm going to say Yankees conservatively 3-0 tonight. The stadium is buzzing, and they're chanting Nestor as he records the 27th out. 3-0. You're going to see all solo shots. Judge, Rizzo, and Glaber hits his first home run in 4 months. Yankees 3-0. Get the proverbial monkey off their back, and they say, We are back, and we are the New York Yankees.
All right, Brian. My next pick. I'm going to pick Seattle here. They're playing LA. The Angels, sorry. I can't say LA because there's so many fucking teams in LA. Anyway, so we got Robbie Ray pitching for Seattle. I feel like he's pitched pretty well as of recently.
After a terrible start.
Yeah, after a terrible start. Did he pitch against the Yankees?
Yeah.
Decent?
Yeah, I think it was just okay. But overall, I mean, he's really, had a pretty good run here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this. Actually, Yankees were 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks. LA before that. The Angels, excuse me, earlier in the month. 7 innings he went, 10 Ks, 1 earned run. Let's go, dude. LA has no offense. Robbie Ray, obviously. You talk about a veteran pitcher, kind of. Not as veteran as Charlie Morton, I suppose, but nonetheless, obviously knows how to pitch and knows how to pitch to the Angels, seemingly. I would say he goes, 6 2/3, maybe 3 earned runs at that point. Maybe, because, I mean, the Angels don't really have much offense. I feel like Seattle would have, way more offensive production. I think Jose Suarez on the mound for the Angels, 4-4 in the season, over 62 1/3 innings. He has 59 hits, 61 Ks, 27 walks, 9 homers off of him. I feel like the Angels, I can't believe ESPN has them winning this game. But hell no. Give me Seattle. I would say 4-2.
All right. I like it.
Ty France? I know you're a big Ty France guy.
Ty France, Julio Rodriguez back, Jared Kelnick sent to the minors.
Eugenio Suarez.
Suarez has been nice. You know who also has been nice? Joey Meneses.
Oh, boy.
30-year-old rookie first baseman for your Washington Nationals, Tony. 42 at-bats this year, 385, 5 homers, 7 RBIs. Unreal production from a career minor leaguer. Finally getting his shot, in wake of that Josh Bell trade. And we're getting crazy tonight. And I just think it's a law of averages situation. Your guy, Patrick Corbin, on the hill tonight at home versus the Cubs and Justin Steele. Patrick Corbin this year making about $30 million, 4-16, 7.02 ERA. He's going 7 strong, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts. And I'm going to say Nelson Cruz turns back the clock, hits 2 home runs. Joey Meneses hits 2 home runs. Nationals 7, Cubs 3. Patrick Corbin picks up his 5th victory of the season.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Patrick Corbin. Getting
interesting
crazy.
Guy to back.
Getting crazy tonight, Brian. All right, my next pick. I'm gonna pick a game between teams that are good. But we have the Houston Astros visiting the Chicago White Sox, and honestly, what seems to be probably one of the better pitching duels this season. We're gonna see Justin Verlander against Dylan Cease. Pitchers who I think are first and second respectively in the AL in terms of ERA. Obviously going to be running for the Cy Young Award. I mean, for Justin Verlander to do that crazy shit. But I feel like I know the White Sox have been hot. I think they won 4 of the last 5. They are on a 4-game winning streak, winning their first game against the Astros last night. I think Urquidy pitched for the Astros. He pitched a pretty decent game, 7 2/3, but their bullpen guy, Montero, I believe it was, kind of blew it for them. And then Johnny Cueto just pitched a gem for the White Sox. I think he pitched 8 innings. And then Hendricks came in to kind of close out the game. So obviously probably no Hendricks tonight for the White Sox, so maybe a little bit of a bullpen chance there for the Astros. I say Verlander goes 7 2/3, gives up 1 run, 10 Ks, 2 hits, no walks. Dylan Cease somewhere around the same, and it's obviously going to come down to the bullpen here because these are 2 extremely good pitchers. But I would say in the end, it's going to be Alvarez. in the 8th inning, solo shot to win it. Astros win this one 2-1.
Wow. So this would be what we would call an instant classic.
Yes. And also prefer chiming in here with, I don't really appreciate his attitude today, by the way. Prefer tonight prediction: Braves 4, Mets 0, Taiwan Walker another stinker. How ridiculous is that?
I think Prefer is just really seeing the light here, and it's just refreshing to see here on the Sports Board for sure.
You know what? Prefer talks about Vegas fixing games. I think Barnes is paying Prefer off right now, honestly, to talk about this nonsense. All right,
nonsense you speak of.
Nonsense I speak of. Nonsense Prefer speaks of.
I mean, I think though, Tony, the one thing that you I think aren't shedding light on here is, and I understand every year is a new year, but you have to have a perspective here to see what Prefer has been through the last few years. This has happened before. You know what I mean? It's not that crazy for him to feel like this. It's a familiar feeling.
Well, it's not that crazy, but you have to be, hopeful at least. I mean, 4-0.
No, I mean, I'll give you that, but I'm just saying I see where the anxiety comes from for sure.
He's also asking better mustache, Braves, Strider, or Tony.
I mean, obviously we got to go with Tony.
I thought you were going to say Strider. He goes, I've been a Mets fan since 1982. So he's witnessed victory.
I honestly didn't know Prefer was that old.
I don't know. I couldn't. I mean,
right though. I don't know why. I was thinking he was younger than us.
I mean, Prefer, if you've been a Mets fan since 1982, I'd imagine you were born before 1982. So
yeah, I mean that puts him up there. Yeah. Anyhow,
he said he's 46.
Well, all right. I was misreading the situation.
So 20 and 20.
I apologize
40,
for this.
40. So you were born in 78, 77.
So I'm gonna go here with the Phillies on the road in Cincinnati. Kyle Gibson versus TJ Zeuch. Schwarber's still banged up.
Schwarber is?
I
don't know who Schwarber is. I know Kyle Schwarber. I don't know who Schwarber.
Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. Phillies are hot. But I honestly, I do kind of think though that Schwarber will probably come back. But even if not, I think Castellanos due for a 2-home run game. I think you're going to see production up and down the lineup. Bryson Stout, a guy that I've mentioned before, young, upcoming, can play second and short. I think he'll have 3 hits. I think the Phillies blow out the Reds here. Kyle Gibson, 7 innings, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts, 4 hits, 1 walk. Phillies 9, Reds 3.
Love it. Hey, man, how do you feel about Jose Quintana?
I haven't closely followed the situation, but hasn't he actually been all right?
Yeah, I actually haven't realized. I didn't even realize St. Louis got him at the trade deadline from Pittsburgh. But St. Louis is playing Colorado, at St. Louis. And I mean, Quintana over here, you're just looking at his numbers. He's got 3.37 ERA, 4-5 in the season. Obviously, pitching for Pittsburgh, you're not going to have much help, so that can kind of explain the record. 102 strikeouts. Whip is at 1.24. And looking at his last few starts, right? His first start was with the Cardinals against the Cubs. They won 7-2. He went 6 innings, giving up 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 2 walks. Had another start earlier this month against Colorado. They won 9-5. The Cardinals, that is. He went 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. And before that, I mean, when he was still with Pittsburgh, I mean, against Philly, he went 5 2/3, no earned runs. Miami, he went 7 innings, no earned runs. He did get a little bit shellacked by Colorado way back in the beginning of July, but obviously redeemed himself against them in Colorado, mind you, too, earlier this month. So, I mean, I feel like he's a pretty strong pitcher, and for St. Louis to acquire him, I feel like good job by them. I feel like he's going to give us another 6 innings tonight. I'm going to say no earned runs after 6 innings. Maybe like 2 walks, though, in the 6th inning to get him kind of shaky and to pull him out of there. I would say, 7 Ks. Would say that seems to be around what he does. and St. Louis can bang this one out pretty easily. I feel like, let's say 3-1.
Interesting.
No?
Yeah. No, I mean they're in a good stretch right now.
Kyle Freeland, eh?
I think I'll take Patrick Corbin.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna actually go with my guy JP Sears on the hill facing the Rangers tonight. Chris Woodward,
Nice, dude.
let
Nice.
go by Texas. After they spent $500 million to finish in last place in the AL West.
Not good
this season. So obviously he had to go, but I've loved Sears. His time with the Yankees was great. He's still kind of getting his feet wet as a starting pitcher here. His first outing with the A's, he went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and I think he's got a lot of strikeout upside potential. So I'm gonna say, the Rangers weak offensively here. I think the A's find a way to claw a couple runs across here. I want to say, and Sears will give him 6 strong, 8 strikeouts, 3 hits, no walks. And I am going to say also we will get a Chad Pinder 3-run homer. A's 5-2.
I think I'm gonna go with the.
You're going 5 picks?
Oh wait, that's right. Yeah, that. Oh,
I mean, when have we gone 5s, Tony?
I guess never, huh?
Just so much good action.
Not gonna be now. I know, dude. I'm excited for baseball tonight. I think I haven't talked baseball with you in a while.
Yeah. A little bit of a layoff here.
Speaking of not talking baseball in a while, dude, how about Tatis Jr.?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm just so infuriated with the Yankees right now. I kind of just
come on,
completely forgot about that. No,
yeah.
Obviously I knew it happened. And I think this is an example of, we talked about perspective before, a guy that clearly has none. I mean, he had multiple motorcycle accidents this offseason, breaks his wrist. He already has a $300 million contract, and he decides to take steroids while he's recovering. And he's 23. I mean, it's not like he's 33, 38. He's 23. And A-Rod was talking about it actually on the Michael K cast.
Dude.
The K-Rod cast on Sunday.
K-Rod cast sucked.
Well, I mean, it's never good. And it's just funny too. Like everyone's like kind of riled, like, oh, it seems like Jeter and A-Rod
squash their beef. Yeah,
but
okay.
It's like, all right, so maybe Jeter doesn't hate A-Rod, but at the same time, it's not like he really wants to hang out with him. That's all I can say.
That was so obvious.
And I guess
broadcast.
he touched him like 8 times, like people were saying, or 18 times.
A-Rod?
Yeah, he just kept doing.
He kept, dude. He was trying so hard to be like a likable, cool dude.
Yeah.
And Derek Jeter was just like, yeah, like it's in the past, whatever, dude. I kept saying that, and Michael K is just sitting there looking like an idiot, just like staring around, just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So funny.
But anyway, he was saying like, oh, I would have thought, he would have learned his lesson, from my mistakes, and the fact that already at 23 years old, he obviously is going to play out his career, but probably he's never going to make the Hall of Fame, just like me. And I wish I could be there. And it's just a sad thing to see. And then the fact too, like every other person that's tested positive for steroids, trying to talk about ringworm, and what are you doing? What are you doing? And I know, that was his excuse.
Really?
That there was some, and it's just like, I understand, like, you wanted to come back from this, but it's like, why do that? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you were going to recover eventually. I mean, it literally, like, I think that's what it was. Like, he just wanted to get back as soon as possible. And it's like, it actually took way longer than it was expected.
Yeah.
So, I mean, talk about a complete atrocity.
And now it's going to take even longer to come back.
Yeah. So, and then, I mean, maybe this was the only cycle, but I don't know.
That was it's a huge hit for the Padres.
And it's just like, I still have not seen someone test positive for steroids and then have 5 good years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Who? When? what? I mean, I guess, when we didn't know about A-Rod, but even then, I mean, we saw how bad the back half of that was. Do you think Tatis has any monster seasons in his future?
Yeah, dude. Come on.
But think about a guy after we heard he tested positive.
Right.
I mean, Nelson Cruz, I guess.
How young was Nelson Cruz though when he
wasn't?
Caught? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when these guys get caught, it is typically later in their career when they feel like they have to take steroids, or they've just been getting away with it for so long, then they just finally get caught.
I don't know.
But regardless, I feel like he's 23 years old. I mean, he's gonna be fine. You think so?
Done. That's it.
There's no way he's done.
I think he might announce his retirement tomorrow.
Get out of town, Brian. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
That is crazy.
That's crazy, man. My mother chiming in. Wow, you guys are on early. Good morning.
Wow. I think she would get I think she would get a good laugh if she rewinded to the beginning of the show. Made a couple interesting points regarding the Yankees. So I think she would enjoy that. Really, the only other thing too I just wanted to mention is had a little bit of a panic attack over the weekend with no, not literally, but with Zach Wilson. The injury in the preseason.
Dude, in the preseason.
Ends up being just a meniscus issue. So he's only expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. However, procedure done today, so they'll be able to give an accurate timeline for his return after that's complete. What I would just say here is, let's not rush this.
Oh, my God.
I mean, this is a guy, we want to be our starting quarterback for the next 15 years. Let's not rush it back early from injury. We have a Super Bowl champion, Joe Flacco, waiting in the wings. And I know he's 0-5 as a Jet starting quarterback. However, revenge spot, Baltimore at home, week 1. We saw how well Flacco performed against the Dolphins last year. Obviously, he didn't get the win, but I believe he threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. How many times did Zach Wilson do that last year? And I just feel like better supporting cast. I really want to see him play against the Ravens. And listen, I might be insane to say that, but the Ravens are coming off a year, where they finished outside of the top 10 for the first time in defense since 1998. So, and I know they brought in a new defensive coordinator, let Wink Martindale go to the Giants. But I don't know. As Michael, would manifest it, have a vision. I just think if Flacco starts week 1 against the Ravens, Jets 35, Ravens 21, Joe Flacco 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, including 3
that's too high
to Garrett Wilson, who has 155 yards receiving, and Elijah Moore gets his first touchdown of the season as well. Tell me how wrong I am, Anthony.
No, it's possible. You think Zach Wilson tests positive for PEDs after?
No.
Oh, dude, I don't know. We've seen it before in many other sports.
Unbelievable. Just a lot of reports. Flacco, running the offense in camp.
Yeah, I know. He's really good. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I'm sure there's some Jets fans out there clamoring for Mike White to get the start.
Oh, my goodness. You really think so, though? Come on, dude.
I do, just because of that moment.
I mean, do you think he'll be good, though? Do you think he'll be...
It was just crazy. I honestly think it's a 50-50 proposition. However, the Jets front office doesn't want to leave that possibility out there because they saw the Mike White craziness last year.
Yeah.
And it really turned everyone away from Zach Wilson. And I think at least they know with Joe Flacco, even no matter how good he performs, they know the fan base will accept. Listen, it would be nice to win as many games as we can this year, but Joe Flacco isn't our future. Zach Wilson is. Hopefully, Zach Wilson is. But that's just my vision. I just think the team is a lot stronger, and I can't wait to see what Carl Lawson does in his return from that Achilles injury last year. Was primed to have a big year before, getting injured in the preseason. So that'll be interesting. I think Quinnen Williams should have a big year as well. The attitude that they're going to get out of Sauce Gardner at corner, I think, will be big. And then, how well Dwayne Brown fills in for Mekhi Becton, obviously having a veteran. I mean, this could be a very good season. And like I said, I just don't want to take a chance with Zach here, even if he has to miss the first 2 games. Want him for the final 15. Want to see what we have, because I think this is it. I know it's crazy year 2, but if it's a clunker and there's no 300-yard games, there's no 3 touchdown games, sayonara, Tony.
Sayonara. Interesting, dude.
Any additional thoughts there?
I don't think so, dude.
You're kind of giving me that look like you've had it. You're thinking about like compounds.
No. I'm very. I can say I'll be here all day, dude.
But
I'm trying to think of what there's, dude. So many sound bites today. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to take some off.
No, I think it's good. I think there's a couple. Obviously, Gentleman Jack. We know isn't going anywhere. Gentleman Jack.
But I mean, a couple we gotta get rid of. Probably the mozzarella. I guess
mozzarella can go. I think we want.
Can go.
Can go.
Yeah,
that's not relevant.
Yeah.
Too high should stay.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then that's good. I think can go.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's good.
I think Michael needs to come in next time. We'll get a new bite out of him.
Unbelievable.
That one could go. Yeah, we gotta get more. It's
Wow.
has nothing to do with the quality of the bite. It's just more
The person.
No.
It's not you.
No.
Get rid of the 2 bites. That
I
wasn't
just
you.
said I want him to come in and have new bites. What are we talking about here? I'm saying we just need new bites. That's it.
I feel like the food one can probably.
Here we go again with the food. Yeah, that's terrible. Laying the proverbial egg.
I kind of like that one.
We'll allow it for now. So that kind of annoys me.
Really?
It's kind of like 100%. Walker on the hill, honestly.
1,000%. I think the percentages can go. I think too.
Yeah, that's
too long.
Not relevant.
Irrelevant.
I don't like any comedian. That's probably gotta stay.
Yeah, dude. Well, Mr. Papoose gotta stay. How about Terocious?
Terocious. That could go.
Really? It's business from the start, dude.
I know, but probably time.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll
figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees win one can go too. That really hasn't been used in a while.
You could get rid of it.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back.
My mother says, "Oh, what did I miss?" She says, because you said she should, play back the tape. She's in Atlantic City right now. Did the Yankees win a game?
Yeah, they won on Saturday.
That's nice.
Anyhow,
then she says, "I like the Giants, Barnes."
Yeah, well, let's see how many games they win this year with Daniel Jones
Probably
at
not
quarterback.
I don't think he's gonna last the season, dude.
Daniel Jones?
No way.
Might not even last 6 games.
Might not even last 4 games.
Might even last 2 games. I know you're excited for the football season, Tony. The wings, the camaraderie. Said it right. First time. Let's go. All right.
What was our bet for the first week? Wings? Yeah. For what though?
It was just
for the picks? Okay, cool.
I kind of actually just want to because I wrote it down this time, so this is where there was no question. Just want to verify that wasn't specifically for those stretches with the Yankees and the Mets.
No, the Yankees and Mets were for the bowling.
Done. Already know it.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
But yeah, I mean, the Yankees have beat me to a pulp. Deliriousness has set in.
Wow.
But
dude.
tonight could be the start of new life. That's what we're looking for here on the Sports Sport. Other than that, Tony, anything?
Let's go Mets. Let's go Yankees. Everyone enjoy the games.
Honestly, though, I just want honest opinion, not for show, not to make me feel better, not to make me feel worse.
Yankees win tonight. Yes,
definitely, 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%.
Yes, dude.
All right,
they're gonna win.
All right, let's hope so. But yeah, another outstanding show. We really appreciate everyone tuning in.
Oh shit!
What do we got?
Jay Bird, who's in London right now.
Okay,
says hello from London. Cover the Premier League. He said. Brian, soccer, anyone? I don't know. Go ahead.
You want me to?
Yeah.
You could be our special correspondent regarding that. Anytime you want to join us, video in, comment.
Right.
Feel free, but we're going to leave that one to you, sir.
Call in from London, dude.
Go
to the game.
Across the ponds.
I don't know if you saw, but there was some match over the weekend. I only watched it because Jay was watching it, I guess, to get ready for his London trip. I guess, well, they call it coaches managers, I guess. But they started fighting each other after the match.
The managers,
the coaches. I think someone scored, and then the coach ran across the field towards the other team's bench and was screaming whatever, and then that team scored back to answer. So then that coach ran across the field screaming at them, and then at the end of the match when they were all shaking hands, they shook hands and one tried to walk away and the other guy held his hand, pulled him in, and they were fucking pushing and shit. It was crazy, dude. Jay Bird, any footy fans? And he says, let's go. I wonder what time it is over there.
5 hours
ahead. I mean, it can't be 5 hours.
Yeah, it's ahead.
Yeah, it can't be 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Jay's at the pub. 5 hours ahead. What is that? 1:30? Oh, so Jay's at the pub probably.
Yeah,
couple beers in.
And the sad part, just to kind of close that out, is that type of thing happening. The managers fighting. I mean, that's probably the most exciting part of the game.
The game ended in a tie, 2-2.
I think that's the problem. There's not enough excitement. But
also, get over yourself. Managers fighting, prissy boys.
Enough.
And Jay confirms 1:30. Thank you, Jay Bird.
Thank you, Jay Bird, and thank you for everyone for tuning in today. Really enjoyed interacting with everybody, and we encourage everyone continue to comment, and subscribe, as well as check out those archives
Tony and Costa
on the YouTube
I think
page.
That could go, honestly.
Tony and Costa, but yeah, that one could go.
Yeah.
But you know what can't go? The summer collection. Running out of time here in the summer. You definitely want to grab some apparel from downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy this wonderful day. We want the Yankees and the Mets to win today. And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.